Hey everyone, we're presenting on pricing wines using text parsing. So what's the motivation behind this project? Well, our basic question is this: can we predict the price of a wine based on its features? Why would we want to know this? Well, wine wholesalers would be interested in this because when they try to bring a wine to market, they want to be able to price it like similar wines that are already on the market. So to do this, we're comparing different machine learning models and seeing how they perform at this task.
In terms of pre-processing, there were a few things that need to get done. For example, we found that 6.92% of our data was missing a price. Also, we have a description attribute in our data set that consists of the text reviews of each wine, and we thought this was an important attribute to capture in our model. To do this, we used some text pre-processing to extract the most important words, such as the qualities of the wine. And finally, we ran this through feature selection using PCA to create a representation of 95% of the variance of our data, just like we did in our homework. In case you didn't know what stemming does, I'm going to give a brief explanation. Stemming basically converts different tenses of a word into one common word so that it doesn't count a word twice or count it as a different word. For example, give, gives, given all get translated to give without an E. This helps us get an accurate depiction of the counts in our data, and we use NLTK to do this. And now to present some of our results. We found that the most common words in our data could be classified into 3 different categories. For example, the flavor of the wine, like apple and plum, and also the adjectives, like dry and crisp. And also the last category is common words that are used in reviews, such as note.
Next, let's talk about some of the models that we used. We wanted to use multiple models so that we were giving the features the best chance to be associated with the price. So the models that we used were linear regression, a regression tree, perceptron, and a neural network. We wanted to tune these models using hyperparameters so that they would give the best association between the features and the price. So for example, with linear regression, we use different types of regularization, including lasso and ridge. As for the regression tree, we use different criteria, and for the perceptron, we use different values for alpha. We used a grid search cross-validation in order to tune these hyperparameters. One of the issues that we found when we were using these models is that we really needed to make sure that a lot of our features were in a quantitative form rather than categorical. For example, the province, we found to have a correlation with price, but a lot of the models would function a lot better using quantitative data. So we have to find a way to encode these categorical variables into a quantitative representation.
The neural network portion of our project is by far the most experimental and unfamiliar to us. In order to feed text data to a neural network, it needed a bit of pre-processing. So we assigned a numeric label to every word in the wine reviews and truncated the length of the review so they would each have the same size. We then plan on feeding this to an RNN that uses LSTM as its structure. We chose RNNs because they tend to be very good at processing sequential data, such as sentences. If you have any advice or prior experience of doing this, any feedback is very much appreciated. Feel free to give us any questions you have now. And then if you don't want to ask questions live, you can also submit your questions written up at the link below or the QR code here. Thanks for watching.